Okay, we are back. We're going to do these types of equations where it's x squared minus 9 equals 0. Now, how does that compare to what we've done before? We've done things like this: x squared plus 6x minus 9 equals 0. And for things like that, we factor it like this and we solve. We've done things like this that's just x squared plus 6x equals 0. And same thing, we factor it. Factoring looks a little bit different from above, but the same kind of idea. And today we have x squared. We have a constant, but we don't have any x term like that. Okay, so there's two different ways of solving them. I'm going to show you one way, and then we'll do another one. First way is to factor these. Now, how do you factor something like x squared minus 9? The way you factor it is by realizing this is the same thing as x squared plus 0x minus 9. And now I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to be negative 9 that add to be 0. So negative 1 and 9, 1 and negative 9, and 3 and negative 3. Now the winner here is 3 and negative 3. So I can factor this as x plus 3, x minus 3. And so my solutions are going to be negative 3, right? Because if I replace that x with a negative 3, that'll be 0. And also a positive 3, because if I replace that with a positive 3, that'll turn to 0. So you get two answers, negative 3 and positive 3. Now there's a better way of solving this one, though. So x squared minus 9 equals 0. This is the way we're going to solve these going forward. We're going to add 9 to both sides. When you do that, you get x squared equals 9. And now the opposite of squaring something is to take the square root. So we're going to take the square root, take the square root. Square root of 9 is 3. But hang on a second. When we did it this way, we got 3 and negative 3. Here we just got a 3. So we have to remember that we're going to have both a positive and a negative solution. Now, why do you have to have a positive and negative? Let's go back and look at this part right here. X squared equals 9. X squared equals 9 means some number times some number again is equal to 9. Now, pretty clearly, 3 is going to work, right? Because 3 times 3 is 9. But negative 3 is also a solution because negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. So using the square root is a bit faster, but you got to remember the positive, negative solutions. Okay, here's one for you. X squared minus 16 equals 0. Great, you added 16, you added 16. X squared equals 16. Square root, x equals plus minus 4. All right, what about this one? X squared equals 7. Okay, same deal. Square root, x equals, now we can't really take the square root of 7. It doesn't really turn out to be a nice number, so we just leave it as the square root of 7. I mean, you could use your calculator and get some decimal approximation, but most of the time what they're looking for is just something like that. Okay, now sometimes you get something that's a little bit messy. Like what if you get 2x squared plus 1 equals 19? Well, here we're just trying to peel away the layers of this onion until we get x by itself. So we're going to peel away this plus 1. So we're going to minus 1 from both sides. Now what does that do? Those cancel out and it gives me 2x squared equals 18. So the next thing we're going to do is peel away that 2. Now between the 2 and the x squared, there's an invisible multiplication. So to undo the multiplication, we're going to divide by 2, divide by 2. Those cancel out. That's going to leave us x squared equals 9. And then square root, x equals 3, but it also equals negative 3. One way of writing that is plus minus 3. Plus minus 3 just means 3 comma negative 3. Okay, I'll give you one to deal with here. Let's do x squared. Let's do 3x squared plus 1 equals 4. Okay, minus 1, 3x squared equals 3. Divide by 3, x squared equals 1. Square root, x equals plus minus 1, which is the same thing as 1 comma negative 1. Great, that's it.